Tribbles. Tribbles are a fictional alien species in the Star Trek universe. They were conceived by screenwriter David Gerrold and first appeared in 1967 in the 15th episode of the second season of Star Trek, the original series, entitled The Trouble with Tribbles. They are depicted as a small, furry, gentle, cute, and slow-moving, but rapidly producing, lovable species. Though they appear infrequently on screen, they have become a popular feature of the Star Trek universe, featuring in their own official card game, and even lending their name to a conserved family of proteins that was first identified in the fruit fly as a regulator of cell division. Representation. Tribbles were first shown in an episode of the second season of the original series, The Trouble with Tribbles. They've appeared in several subsequent series, in brief appearances in 4 Star Trek films, and in video games such as Star Trek Armada 2. According to Star Trek canon, Tribbles are native to the 4th planet orbiting the star Iota Geminium. While they appear as small bundles of fur with no other visible features, they do produce cooing and squeaking noises. Their coloring ranges from white and gray to black, as well as speckled brown, yellow, and orange. According to Dr. Leonard McCoy's dialogue, their only 2 purposes in life appear to be to eat and to reproduce, and they perform both of these functions exceptionally well. McCoy concludes that tribbles use over 50% of their metabolism for reproduction, and that they are born pregnant. They are also identified as being bisexual. Due to their tendency to overpopulate, Starfleet considers tribbles to be dangerous and forbids their transportation. A creature genetically engineered to hunt tribbles, a glomer, was introduced in the animated episode More Tribbles, More Troubles. The Klingons, in whose presence tribbles produce a convulsive, shrieking reaction, consider them mortal enemies, as stated in the Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode Trials and Tribulations. The Star Trek Short Treks episode The Trouble with Edward reveals that tribbles were not originally born pregnant, and in fact, their reproductive rate was exceedingly slow. As scientists, Edward Larkin genetically engineered them into their current form, in an attempt to solve a planetary food shortage. The experiment went disastrously wrong, resulting in Larkin's death, the destruction of the ship, and the subsequent evacuation of the planet they were trying to save. Also, some tribbles managed to reach Klingon space, also with disastrous results. Tribbles also appear in the Star Trek Enterprise episode The Breach, where Dr. Phlox is depicted as owning a tribble specimen and describes them as usually being highly illegal. Origin. David Gerrold has written that his original idea for tribbles was based on the well-known problems associated with overpopulation of rabbits in Australia. He wanted a creature prop that would be cheap to produce, and took inspiration from a ball of pink fuzz attached to a keyring. The name for tribbles was originally Fuzzies, but to avoid confusion with the 1962 H. Beam Piper novel Little Fuzzy, Gerrold brainstormed some nonsense words, arriving at tribble. Shortly before the episode was produced, Kellum DeForest Research pointed out the similarities between Gerrold's creatures and the Martian flatcats from Robert A. Heinlein's novel The Rolling Stones from 1952. They recommended purchasing the rights to the novel. Instead, Star Trek producer Gene L. Coon contacted Heinlein by telephone and asked that he waive the similarity. Heinlein did, but he later regretted the decision when the Star Trek franchise continued to use tribbles in their productions. Gerrold discusses the matter of potential inadvertent plagiarism in his book, but he does not admit to it. He claims that instead of money or credit, Heinlein asked only for a signed copy of the script, and that afterwards Heinlein wrote to him dismissing the similarity. Quote, "We both owe something to Ellis Parker Butler, impossible to Noah. However, Gerrold's account does not agree entirely with Heinlein's own recollection of the matter, as related in private correspondence, cited in his authorized autobiography. I hope you enjoyed the Tribbles ASMR.